What's going on, world? So, we got some news here about the PS5 Pro, and I also want to give people a touch of reality about how a lot of people are lying and not giving them the real stats of the PS5 Pro and how they're just making up this fantasy that's not even close to reality. Jeff Grubb here says that last I heard, this PlayStation 5 Pro is still coming out this year, and more recently, what I heard is that there's probably going to be a state of play, a Sony PlayStation state of play, not a showcase, a state of play at the end by the end of September. That makes sense because I was saying the same thing. If it doesn't get announced in September, then it's going to get delayed. And that's the best time to do it. It's obviously not happening this month, so I can almost promise you that it has to get announced next month, no later than that. But let's go into what, this right here too says PS5 is the open secret at Gamescom. It's a thing that, is said a lot right here. So we know that's true right there. But another thing that I don't like is people like this that make up a lot of nonsense that's not real. Like telling people 33 teraflops, where it's like, dude, you know what type of GPU you have to get? We're talking about something like a 4090, you know what I mean? Or like a super souped up 4080. And that's going to cost you a lot of money. 4090 is like $1,200, $1,400. You know what I mean? So like if we go back over here to you got like during these times 33 teraflops, right? No, guys, it's around like 15 to 16 teraflops, okay? It's like a 45 and 50% GPU boost. And that's the only thing they can replace. You cannot put a new CPU in there and you cannot put new RAM in there. You can only overclock the CPU. So it has the same CPU and has the same RAM. 16 is the limit. It's not running 32. And the CPU is an 8-core Ryzen processor. And it's not a bad processor, but it's not going to be able to run 32 teraflops. In order to get that much, have that much power to run, you need the speed to run it. You see? If you have that much horsepower, everybody knows this in a car and anything else. In order to run so much power, you need the right amount of speed and the right amount of memory. So they would have to replace the CPU and replace the RAM in order to run something with legit 33 teraflops. Just like PS6, you know, specs right there. Just stop being dumb and brainwashing people so you can make something look good because you're probably a fanboy. I just don't like the lies. Another thing that's a lie is saying that it's like a 4K 120 FPS machine. We can go right here. People do this crap all the time, right? And we're gonna go into reality here. I'm getting a PS5 Pro. Obviously, I'm a gamer enthusiast. I've been gaming for over 30 years, y'all, since 1994. I was born in '89. I've owned every console. I have the most up-to-date PC. Let me just give you an example right here. I don't make up stuff. PS5 controllers right here. My Series X controllers right here. And my Nintendo Switch is over there. I don't feel like grabbing it. Um, I have an Ryzen 9 89 45 processor. This thing base clock 4 gigahertz, RTX 4070 right there. So 32 gigabytes of RAM up in here. This thing, it's pretty beast. And I can, make it more powerful if I want. But you have people right here thinking that 4K 120 frames is going to like apply to like new games. That's impossible. Even like this laptop can't do that, or barely a 4090 even then, right? And we know that's like a $2,500 or $3,000 PC you're going to be spending right there. And then you got people like 4K 120 FPS beats. What, like an old Call of Duty game? Right? Or PS4 games? Not nothing coming out right now. Let me give you another inside look right here. So, in order to play the new Star Wars game that's coming out, you need an Intel i7 12700K processor running at 3.6 gigahertz base clock. That's a 12-core processor. Or an AMD Ryzen 5800. You need a 4080 GTX or GeForce RTX graphics card or a 7600 XTX Radeon at 24 gigabytes, and this needs to be 16 gigabytes. Look at this processor right here. It's $450, $460 processor. 12 cores, right? Max turbo at 5 gigahertz. It has 20 freaking threads on it, y'all. And look at the cache on this right here. Let's give you some real PC intel right here, right? To just let you know. To run this game at 4K 60. If you want to do 1440p, you need a 4070. And you need an i5, which I can do this on this laptop that I have. But the thing is that like let's just look at reality right here. I'm saying games that are coming out when the PS4, when the PS 5 Pro comes out, it'll probably try to hit this if it can, and it can have some issues. Why? Because you can't upgrade the processor or the RAM. You see what I mean? There's no way in hell it's going to do this. They'll have to checkerboard and upscale. So this is reality, you know what I mean? GTA 5 is going to be more demanding than this. Just so you guys can like, understand reality here. Instead of like believing these lies that these people say. I'm just trying to give you guys, some realistic grounding here. Let's go down further here. This guy is even more brain dead. He seriously believes 67 teraflops. What are we talking about? PS7 or something or PS8? Like, what's wrong with this dude? You know what I mean? The stuff that these people were and look, you can see a post that I did right here on March 16th. The PS5 Pro specs is being used in this sense, everyone. It's actually half of this. It's 16.8, not 33.5, or that other stuff that, people were saying. But, they want to believe in this fantasy right here, and it's not real. It's fake. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lesser jump than a PS4 to the PS4 Pro. The PS4 had 1.8. So if you do 2 times the power of 1.8, it's obviously 36. It's 18 times 2 is 36. So it would be 3.6. No, the PS4 had like 4.2. So it was even more powerful than that. The PS5 Pro is not going to be 2 times more powerful than the base PlayStation. They would have to jack the price up to like 700 and something bucks, maybe 800. You know what I mean? No, it's going to be like a 1.5 jump, a 45 percent jump, 50% jump. Like some of these people were saying, it's going to be running 45% faster. So like if I did, and let's do the math here. See, that's why we got to do this ourselves and not believe this nonsense face value. PS5 teraflops, 10.28. So 2 times that would mean 20 teraflops. It doesn't. You would have to adjust the CPU and you have to adjust the RAM. It's at 45%, right? So 50% of 10 is 5. That means 15 teraflops. You see what I'm saying here? So it's going to be better, right? I mean, that's still better, but it's not going to be this jump like people think it's going to be. What's going to help that though is Sony having their own custom-made AMD like FSR, kind of like NVIDIA's DSLL, DLS or whatever. So like if you go to like NVIDIA DLSS, right? Deep learning super sampling is what that is. You could make like jumps and stuff like that. That will help, yes. But that's about it. But if you put like, ridiculous ray tracing on it, it's super demanding. Like even the demands for Black Myth Wukong are ridiculous right now if you don't run that at cinematic. And I'm telling you, I have the game and it's just not happening. You need like a damn 4080 12 gigabytes, even more souped up processor and like 32 gigabytes of RAM, which I have the processor and RAM, but you need a more stronger GPU. And these Unreal Engine games are like CPU demanding, big time. The PlayStation 5 cannot upgrade its CPU. It's stuck with that. You can only just improve the graphics cards a little bit. You see? So it's like you going from like if you had a 4060, you're like, oh yeah, I'm putting a 4070 in there now. You know what I mean? But do you expect this crazy stuff that these people are making up, like 32 teraflops? It's like, shut up. Stop lying to people. It's just not real. So let's look in reality here. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to cover about this. But like the thing with the PS5 Pro is, like I say, it is coming out, and it is a nice upgrade to have for as a console gamer. Like definitely if you don't have a PC to run it, and the reason why you want it still too, even if you do have a PC, is that I can only play this game on PlayStation 5, unlike Xbox. So time second party exclusives like Stellar Blade, stuff like that. First party exclusives that won't be coming to PC way later on. If you want to play it day one, that jump in technology is still nice. But we're not going to sit here and feed people these fantasies and make up stuff that's not real. And I just don't like it. Because I would prefer, you just tell people the truth instead of sitting over here making up stuff that's not true. See, like 4K 120 frames per second. It's like, yeah, but when you say that, what are you talking about? You're not talking about any new game. You're talking about like a game that maybe came out, this lightweight game, like I said, like a Call of Duty game or something, you know what I mean? Because those games are not super demanding. But you're not talking about no Star Wars Outlaws. You're not talking about GTA coming out. You're not talking about Monster Hunter um Wild. You know what I mean? You're not talking about these new demanding games that are coming out like Stalker, and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. Or Assassin's Creed Shadows, or You know what I mean? Just the new games that are coming around the corner, you're not going to do that. No, you would be feeling good if you could say, okay, I can get 1440p 60 frames. This is better. You know what I mean? Not like, oh yeah, this is gonna hit 4K 120. But let's do the math here. Let's live in reality here. So that's my thing about that. That I kind of wanted to cover about this. So obviously, I'm still gonna get the PS5 Pro, and it is welcome. And consoles can use less resources than a PC because they don't have to worry about like, all this other stuff. But let's not sit here and fill people's minds up saying that it's gonna hit, this right here, and it's like the PS5 Pro is not gonna be equivalent to no 4080. It ain't gonna even match the 4070. You know what I mean? I'd say it'd be somewhere around a 4060, which is still not bad. You know what I mean? But it ain't gonna be this right here because you can't upgrade this, and it can't hit 32 gigabytes of RAM. So my laptop's still gonna be a lot more powerful than it. CPU and RAM wise. GPU wise, it'll get closer. But that's the thing that I wanted to kind of cover about that, and that's just reality, y'all. So you could still be excited about the PS5 Pro. It's not bad to do that, but what I don't like is making people be excited about something that's not real and lying to them. That's why I kind of wanted to give you a PC enthusiast point of view. And I love, all gaming aspects in gaming. I will continue to have all the consoles and everything. But what I don't love and like is people misleading people. And that's why I wanted y'all to get the truth about it's around 15 to 16 teraflops. You know what I mean in reality. Not all that other stuff that people are making up. Try to make you think you're about to get some PS6 specs. It's like, come on, man. Let's use our brains here and realize if I have that much power, I'm going to need the speed and memory to run it. And we don't have that. So if we want to look up, let's see here, Black Myth, Wukong, 4K, 60 FPS specs requirements. If they would even let us do that. These are the requirements to run it at these sets. But I can tell you right now, I've got on the game, y'all, and see they recommend a 4080 for 4K very high, and that's a you see what I mean? So the new PlayStation 5 Pro won't even be able to do that. Um, and like I said, Unreal Engine 5 is very demanding, definitely on the CPU. So be careful with guys like this, try to feed you stuff like this. Just tell people the truth and stop lying to them. So yeah, like, subscribe if I like this type of content. This is what I wanted to cover about the PS5 Pro. I wanted to give you guys the truth about it, and it is coming out this year. It has to. If not, they're going to delay it. I don't see why they would. Next month has to be the month. Jeff Grubb's usually reliable about stuff like that. But let me know what y'all think. Reply in the comments. People who understand how specs work, y'all know what I'm saying. I just want to give you all the truth about this. So all in all, y'all have a good day. Peace out, y'all.